The domestic European season wraps up this weekend and there's still plenty to fight for. For example, in England, as Albert will touch on later, there are several big boasting rights up for grabs, and of course that includes survival. This is fast money football. The final weekend of the Prem, and there's still one relegation spot to avoid, and it's between Leeds, Burnley and Everton, and no doubt relegation is horrendous for all involved, but there is a silver lining. Promotion from the Championship to the Premier League opens up a whole new world of revenue for English teams. EPL clubs receive around $150 million per season from television broadcast deals. So when relegation strikes, it not only robs the team of its Premier League status, but also of tens of millions of dollars in broadcast and sponsorship earnings as well. With that sudden, massive shortfall in income, things can quickly spiral out of control for relegated teams. Just Google clubs such as Leeds, Sunderland, and Bolton. So to counter that, the Premier League provides what are known as parachute payments to ensure that clubs who make the drop don't also fall into financial ruin as well. First introduced in 2006 and significantly overhauled a decade later, parachute payments are designed to ensure a soft landing for clubs demoted to the Championship. But while those payments were devised to solve a specific problem, they're arguably responsible for creating a whole host of other problems. Front and center of those is the issue of financial inequality in the Championship itself. For relegated clubs, parachute payments are worth around $64 million, which is more than the entire revenue of most Championship sides. Take Bournemouth, for example. Their squad is worth about $200 million, made possible by the parachute system. The Cherries secured promotion to the EPL last month after a 2-year absence from the top flight, but many of the teams going up against Bournemouth this season were assembled for less than 20% of that figure. Similarly, Fulham topped this year's Championship with a squad worth around $200 million, whereas Luton, who finished 6th and managed to make the playoffs, did so with a squad worth less than $30 million. But here's the thing, in the world of parachute payments, it seems that what goes up must come down. Because the flip side of that huge financial imbalance is a weird footballing no man's land, where parachute clubs end up too good for the Championship, but not good enough for the Premier League. Like, for example, Norwich and Watford. The two sides finished first and second respectively in the Championship last season, each racking up more than 90 points in the process. But fast forward a year, and both teams are coming straight back down with a bump, without either side reaching 25 points in the Premiership. For the Canaries in particular, that represents the 5th time in a decade that they've yo-yoed between the two divisions. So does the parachute system actually work? And is a $64 million prize for being relegated from the Premier League actually a good idea? There's a financial aspect to the question and a footballing one as well. And on the current evidence, the answer to both might well be no. Either way, all we can do now is sit back and enjoy the summer and then put the question to Bournemouth, Fulham and the other usual suspects in approximately 12 months' time.